The following is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
This is so fun.
Pillow fighting.
Why is it so fun?
Pillow fight.
Hey, it's me, Yamini, and you're listening to Pillow Fight. If you want more of us, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at PillowFightPod. If you love us, leave us a review in the Apple Podcast app or wherever you listen to podcasts. We've got an amazing episode in store for you, so buckle up. Thanks so much for listening.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
Is yours made of
And
goose?
we got feathers flying everywhere.
Mine's made of goose.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
This is so fun.
Pillow fighting.
Why is it so fun?
Pillow fight.
Today on Pillow Fight, I'm joined by Zavior Phillips, a Nashville-raised, LA-based writer and comedian. The two of us met in college doing improv, and now we live together. You can find his comedic videos and check out his award-winning short film, Inconvenience, on Instagram at Zavior.jpg. That's Zavior with a Z, so Zavior.jpg. Enjoy this episode.
Fuck. Marry? Kill. Fuck, marry, kill.
So, for this round of Fuck, Marry, Kill, the first option is that this past weekend, Bernie Sanders tweeted, "We must demand that the extremely wealthy pay their fair share, period." To which Elon Musk replied, "I keep forgetting that you're still alive." Number 2, in Will Smith's new book, he reveals that after his brief split from Jada Pinkett Smith in 2011, he sought out a shaman to lead him through a psychedelic ayahuasca trip. He ended up tripping 14 times and then met with a tantric sex counselor who led him to the realization that he did not want to be in a monogamous relationship. Number 3, after 8 people died at Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival last week, Scott announced that he would cover funeral costs and offer those affected by the events 1 free month of online therapy from BetterHelp. So, Fuck, Marry, Kill, Elon trolls Bernie, Will Smith has a tantric sex trip 14 times, and Travis Scott is sponsored by BetterHelp. What would you do?
This is tough because I immediately was like, oh, when you first said when you first mentioned Travis Scott, I was like, probably kill that situation immediately. But then I guess that's a good oof. This is tough. I mean, I also. A caveat for the for the listeners. This I know for a fact that my mother and grandmother are gonna be like, I want to listen to your episode, and so I will be saying F rather than, you can bleep it out. You can just bleep it. I'm going to bleep because my mother still thinks I'm this goody two shoes and that LA hasn't hardened me.
She's gonna listen to this and be like, you gotta get out of there. Yamini's a terrible husband.
Yeah, she's gonna really learn that you actually are terrible for me. Okay, so I'm going to, straight out the gate, I'm gonna bang Will Smith on this sex journey, just because I do feel like the tantric sex, I watched this Netflix docu-series thing about tantric sex and it looked crazy and people were getting off without anyone touching them, which sounds, look, I currently don't have many people touching me, so you got to do what you got to do. So I'm gonna do that one. Who am I gonna kill? I'm gonna kill okay, so it's between Elon Musk and the Travis Scott BetterHelp thing. That's tough because the Travis Scott thing is kind of, it's good. But
okay,
but it's kind of. Ugh.
Is it good?
Dude, he's doing BetterHelp.
I just think maybe it would have been BetterHelp if he had not,
Sure. Look, sure. I'm not disagreeing with that. Sure, it's kind of oh, I did nothing wrong. I'm doing this thing, but. Actually, okay, you know what? That actually did change my mind. Okay, I'm going to kill the Travis Scott thing. Because that's a icky, gross situation. And even the Travis Scott plus BetterHelp being like this capitalistic therapy thing, and like what a beautiful partnership. So I'm gonna kill that, which means I'm gonna marry the Elon Musk response to Bernie Sanders, which also does kind of feel like a marriage. Like it's kind of just like, you know, we hate each other, but we're around, you know. So those are my answers. What about you?
That was my first thought with the Elon Musk and Bernie thing too. It does feel like a typical marriage, but because it feels like a typical marriage, I think that I don't want to marry it. Because you know, there's options here. I would kill Travis Scott partner with BetterHelp just because I think the idea that giving people a free month of BetterHelp is gonna fix the fact that they watched their friends die at his festival. Just it feels very dystopian.
It's
also,
true.
like BetterHelp is one of those things where its existence is like predicated on the knowledge that like people can't afford therapy, and so they're gonna like they have to do this online thing to give people some sort of therapy. But then BetterHelp also feels like kind of a scam because like they charge you even if you don't have appointments, and like one free month they're still gonna take your credit card, and they're still gonna, if you don't cancel, they're gonna charge you whatever for the you know. And I think that that's like, you know, I think what he should do is you know, not like the sponsoring with BetterHelp feels just very like a dystopian solution to the problem.
That's right.
So I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna marry the Will Smith trip because, you know, I think their marriage proves to me that you can be as messy as a young person even when you're like years into marriage with adult children, and I think that's inspiring. And I think that sounds honestly like, you know, he took some time away from his marriage, went crazy, and then came back, and then I don't know, like people are always like shitting on them, I think, because they're like, oh, he's down bad, whatever. But I think, you know, happiness is different for different people, and
that's true.
He seems to be still chugging along in that marriage, so
somehow.
And you know, he left once, he could leave again, and he seems to still be there. So, you know, I marry that. I would fuck the Elon Musk and Bernie Sanders thing because I just think that it's like sexy enemies situation. Like
the tension.
You know, it's like, just kiss already. I think, because I don't know, like Bernie's like saying he's like saying his thoughts, and Elon Musk is like, yeah, I know you hate me. Let's play this little game. Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true. It is pretty flirtatious of like when you're like flirting with somebody, you like roast them in like a cute way.
Yeah, this is very like 4th grade flirting, and I think that's like hot.
Yeah.
So I would fuck that.
Nice.
I also think like, I don't know, they're both powerful in different ways, you know? Yeah,
That's
the
good.
comment section of that whole Twitter thread was a lot, though. I think the two of them had a funny little interaction, but...
Was there any more back and forth? Like, did Bernie...
No, Bernie didn't reply.
Did Bernie kiss back? Or?
He did not kiss back, but
Dang.
Elon Musk kept replying, being like... Elon Musk replied again and was like, if you want me to sell more stock, just let me know. Like, it was something like that. It was really flirty.
That's
it was
really flirtatious.
And we know he just got out of a relationship.
Oh my god.
So...
Is he trying to make Grimes jealous by flirting with Bernie Sanders? Grimes was reading that, like, communist... Was he reading the Communist Manifesto, like, on the street?
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Wow.
It's like, I can get us a threesome, Grimes. Want me to sell more stock, Bernie? Just say the word, ... Yeah.
That's so sexual. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's hot.
Yeah, it is hot. Every single podcast I've ever listened to is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm like gonna get blacklisted for killing the BetterHelp partnership, but you know, I think that
You gotta take a stand.
what's his name? Prince Harry is now working for some sort of mental health startup that gives me sort of BetterHelp energy.
Interesting.
I don't know what it is exactly, but I think it's very amusing to go from being like the crown prince of one country to...
What does that say also about the royal family? He's like, we should really focus on mental health. I don't know about anyone else, but I think we should put a lot of resources into this.
Yeah. So it's a booming economy, online therapy, but...
That's true. It also could be a situation where, similar to Elon Musk and Bernie Sanders, you're kind of like negging BetterHelp, and then they'll sponsor you. By you being like, yeah, I think this is a bad thing, and then
they're like, oh, Yamini, please.
Yeah.
Be nicer to us.
yeah, exactly.
We'll give you some money. You want us to give you money? Just say the word. ... Yeah, I really think that it's not good for your mental health to be on BetterHelp because, listen, I have interacted with the interface before. It's not good. It's like you can't have like your appointment scheduled out more than 1 week, but then like after your next appointment you can't book the next time, but then like so you can't have a recurring appointment.
Oh, whoa.
You have to like rebook every week, which like, okay, if you have like any
That's
sort
weird.
of mental illness, that's kind of a hard thing to be on top of.
That's rough.
And then also like it charges you even if you don't have an appointment. And then also it's like all virtual, which like I guess that's fine if it's like your therapist who you have a relationship with. This is like a person who's also like definitely being exploited by them working for. They're also definitely like kind of there's too much going on. They're like all over the place.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. It feels like
I started going to therapy this year, and my entire experience has been online. It's not through BetterHelp, but it's through like I don't know, my mom's. Shout out Starbucks health care. I like got it through that, so I've only experienced like on, but it's like consistent, and we have recurring meetings and stuff. So I've never like spoken to a therapist in the same room.
I started going to a new therapist at the end of 2020, and I'd met her in person for the first time in like July.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I honestly feel like it was a level up. Like it was
Yeah.
really.
Do you feel more? I feel like some people would be able to be more vulnerable via like Zoom, and some people would be better in person.
I'm way better in person. Over Zoom, I'm just like looking around the room. I'm like, what's going on? Like I'm so distracted. Whereas in the room, like I have to be in the room, you know?
Interesting. I feel like I would definitely enjoy doing it in person as well now. But I feel like getting into it via Zoom was better for me because part of it was like learning, like getting more in touch with that vulnerable side and stuff. And it's easier when I'm just like, I can just close my laptop and I don't have to like say all these things and then like shake someone's hand and then like continue to look them in the eyes and walk outside and all that stuff. So I can just, yeah.
Oh, totally. I think there's like benefits and pros and cons. I think just like something about the irregularity of BetterHelp, and also just something about how every time they ever make you give your credit card for something for a free month, they're not giving you a free month. They're giving you a paid membership with one free early start month if you have your life together enough to cancel it in time, which I feel like most people don't.
That's true. That's very true. Once a month I do try to go through my like bank statement and see like what I'm subscribed to that I didn't even realize. And every single month there's something I'm like, why am I still paying for Adobe Premiere? I haven't used it in 6 months.
Yeah, I try not to subscribe to anything that makes you put a credit card down at the beginning. I'll just kind of, oh no, hope don't come for me, feds. I'll just try to use someone else's account. I think also like in our apartment, you know, like we have all the different streaming services.
Yeah.
It's just, this is the subscription-based platform.
Mm-hmm.
We need to take a Bernie Sanders Grimes approach to it and just everyone kind of shares subscriptions. I think that
would be beautiful.
I know they're cracking down on it, but it's like,
I think, look, if everyone gathered
they're
around,
still making so much money.
Yeah, right. But if everyone gathered around and they were like, look, Netflix, we'll just like let you guys keep making stuff. If we just like, we can all just share a password. You guys can keep making your little movies and your little TV shows. It's perfect. You guys want to make stuff. We want to watch it. I just don't want to pay for an account.
Yeah. And it's like,
I think we solved it. I think we just solved capitalism.
I think we did. I think that is the future of the progressive movement, is shared subscriptions, because we're moving into this, it's like a back and forth. Like they're giving us something extremely capitalistic and then we're like, let's just like share it.
Yeah.
So like same thing with like, I feel like Amazon Prime, people are like sharing those. It's like, why are we don't need to all be paying for our own.
Right? That's insane.
So
you can deliver in 2 days. Just deliver in 2 days. More people order more stuff if you can deliver in 2 days. Gosh. Get Bezos on the phone. I've got some ideas for that guy.
Well, he's gone. He stepped down.
Well, frick. I still want to talk to him, right? Different ideas.
Yeah.
About Amazon.
I am curious. Do you ever think about this? why don't people, there's like Elon Musk has this like cult of personality, and I feel like Jeff Bezos has a bit of it too. Why doesn't Mark Zuckerberg have like stands?
Because he's not human enough.
Yeah, I feel like Jeff Bezos is also not really very human.
That's true.
Elon Musk is the most human, and that's saying something.
I feel like also the fact that it's like Facebook, like it's a social thing that he's created. Like Amazon is like, I feel like people view it as like evil because it's like capitalist, and like same with like Elon Musk and stuff. But the fact that Mark Zuckerberg is not only like this capitalist empire, but also this capitalist empire that like I think everyone can agree is actively destroying humanity, makes it a lot harder to get behind the man.
He just like couldn't fuck in college, and now
and now we're here.
Yeah. Oh.
Marky Mark.
We
love him.
Yeah.
We don't. No, I just said that. That just slipped out. Cut that. We don't love Marky Mark. We hate Marky Mark.
Have you watched Social Network?
I have.
That movie made me feel like justice for the Winklevoss twins. I feel like he kind of ripped them to shreds, but now, good for them. They got out without being involved in Facebook.
That's true.
And they're doing some crypto thing now, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I believe it.
They're on the new edge. They're on the frontier.
Yeah.
I was in a room the other day where I had to talk about crypto with somebody.
That's always a sad story when that's how it begins.
It was at a comedy show, and it was the booker, so I had to talk to him about it.
No.
I was like, me on another show next week. So I was talking to him about crypto, and he was saying that like he invested $1 last year, and now it's become like 1,000 something in crypto. And I'm like, I guess it's smart to get on these things, but like also how?
What? Also, he really invested $1 single dollar.
I don't know. I wasn't really.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't understand it, and it kind of like stocks in general. It makes me. I don't know.
Well,
I don't understand them at all.
I just sold my first stock ever, and I feel like the Wolf of Wall Street. And then they're talking about crypto, and I was like, okay, I'm 80 years old.
Yeah. Wow. Confirmed. Yamini is a huge capitalist pig selling out. Confirmed it was Amazon and Facebook stock. Or Meta. It was Meta stock.
Meta stock.
Yeah,
oh
baby.
Gosh. Meta. They moved fast.
They did. Instagram says like buy.
Facebook says powered by Meta too.
That's crazy.
Yeah. For a second I thought that Facebook itself, like the app, was changing its name, but then
that would have been too. That would have been great. That would have been so dumb of them to.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I sold mall stock.
Mall stock?
Yeah, like
in
shopping malls.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I had a theory. Okay, this is now a finance podcast.
Correct.
I had a theory that malls would go up in value because COVID, like with the vaccine increasing and stuff, people are going to shop more in malls because it's like they're missing the experience. And also the holidays are approaching, so people are going to go shopping. So just shopping galore.
True. Yeah.
And people are going to be like, OMGS mall, even though in the long run, malls are dying.
Yeah.
So.
That's true. Get a little short gain.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Though I don't have the people like just put it in there and let it like. I don't understand that really.
I cannot do that, nor can I do like the day, like look at it constantly. Like I'm somewhere in the middle. Just all of it. I'm very risk averse when it comes to my finances.
Yeah.
But it's scary. Did you ever go to speaking of malls, were you like a Santa's lap picture?
I have a few, but I didn't really like that. I always found it a little bit
like sitting on
I always found it a little bit creepy. I was always like, who are you?
You were ahead of your time.
Yeah, I also just didn't like random strangers calling me cute. Like I always found that really weird and infantilizing. And my parents would take a lot of pride in it because they're like, oh, like we have a kid that strangers call cute. And I was like, ew, like you should be proud of having a cute kid without other people telling you that. Like you should know and you shouldn't need validation. And like stop doing this. They would like I have vague memories of like them letting like other parents like I don't know, like getting babysat by like other families. I hated that.
Yeah.
Like just hire a normal babysitter. I don't know. It was just like this sort of weird I didn't like other like adults treating me like I was their child. Always found that weird.
Interesting.
And
I always liked, because I always felt like other adults liked me more than their own. I was good at. I always felt like my parents didn't love me enough, so I got that from elsewhere. No, like I'm good at like getting other parents on board, and so I can like, you know, kiss up to them, and then they love me more than their own kids.
Okay.
It's kind of my thing.
I'm not very good at that. I had a 7th grade boyfriend, and was it 7th grade? I think it was 7th grade. Maybe it was 8th grade. I think it was 7th grade actually. Yeah, I had a 7th grade boyfriend, and his mom thought I was like a witch.
Oh.
Yeah, she genuinely believed I was like doing witchcraft and would not let me come over to their house.
In the 7th grade.
In the 7th grade, because I was just.
What about if you had to guess, what about you was?
I did not have good vibes in the 7th grade. Like
strictly a vibe.
Like I think I was dressing in like very scary clothes for a 7th
like
grader.
Chokers. Were you rocking chokers?
I was rocking chokers for a long time, but like at this point, I don't know. I was also like. I started wearing makeup for the first time. I was not good at it, so I would have like raccoon-looking eyeshadow and like just kind of be. I was kind of like a feral child, and I would like, kind of like, you know, I was one of those weird kids who would like hiss and roar.
I think we've stumbled upon the answer to my question. Actually, somehow that might be part of it.
So I had that sort of energy.
Right.
In the 7th grade, no, I was not a Santa's lap kid at all.
Okay.
That was the answer to that.
Yeah.
Or were you a Santa's lap child?
I don't think we like went very much. My parents were like broke, so I'm sure they didn't want to pay for the pictures. But I remember like, I know we did it at least once, and I remember like wanting to be a Santa's lap kid, like wanting to sit on Santa's lap, and like they were like, Xavier, you're 18 years old. No.
You have to pay money to sit on a stranger's lap. I don't like that.
Oh, interesting.
Listen, it's like, I could do that for free. I could do that for free.
There are plenty of strangers who want me to sit on their lap.
There are
They'll
plenty
pay me.
of strangers who will pay me to dress. They will dress up like Santa, and I will sit on my lap. And you know what? I would so much prefer that. Because it's like an honest exchange there.
Yeah,
you know what you're getting into. As opposed to Mall Santa, like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Probably like, I feel like every movie about Mall Santa is like, oh, they're like smoking in the break room, and they're like the most
Mall Santa has like a Barney energy where it's like wholesome exterior, but like sick and twisted inner.
Do you remember where you were when you learned about like the Barney, like, didn't he like stepped on a nail or something and started like cursing? Do you remember this?
I don't remember that exact story, but I remember like hearing my first story about Barney being bad.
Yeah.
I think I was like on a play date in the 2nd grade or something like that.
It really shatters the world. I think there's this one story going around that he like was on set and accidentally stepped on a nail and started just like just like going crazy, and they were like, oh my god, Barney, you can't do this. It was crazy. Shattered everything.
I remember hearing that he was like smoking inside of his costume. And at the time I was like, he smokes cigarettes? How fucking dare he? That is the worst thing a human can do.
It's so dangerous for dinosaurs specifically. Dinosaur lungs cannot handle
they're
that.
already extinct.
It's not good.
Oh man, so yeah, but I loved Barney for a long time, but then it switched into the hissing and roaring.
So this is a pretty clear
timeline.
Yeah.
I don't know when I normalized. I would honestly say like late high school.
Okay. You normalized as in like became a normal person?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I like normalized the hissing into your characteristics.
I mean, I just started doing it on stage instead. That was like
okay, so you got to get all of that out on stage.
Yeah.
Improv is honestly beautiful for that.
Yeah. Improv is like, I think, really good for weird kids. Yeah. To just let themselves be weird productively.
Yeah. That's real. I do feel like when I first started improv, because I mean, kind of circling back to the fact that I did not curse at the top of this podcast. I never really cursed, and I don't really now either, but I remember when I first started doing improv in college, I do feel like I started cursing a lot. One, because it like could be just this funny like crutch, and I knew like if I screamed a curse word randomly, like it would laugh or whatever. But also I'm sure there was some sort of like act of rebellion that I was like not, like I didn't really do this my whole life, and now I'm like free and in college and stuff. So got to let loose in that.
Yeah. Wow.
I know.
You're like you're good Tennessee boy.
I know. Well, now I'm back to the good Tennessee boy. So
You got it out.
I got it out. I got it out of my system.
Would you rather, would you rather, would you rather? Let's play a game of Would You Rather.
Okay, so Taylor Swift just re-released Red, her 4th studio album. The re-release features a 10-minute version of her song All Too Well, which is known to many as a breakup song about Jake Gyllenhaal. Would you rather date a musician and have them release a bunch of scathing songs about you, or have them not write anything about you at all?
Ooh, that is tricky. I would... Yeah. I would probably have them... The options are not have them or, like, it's skate, like, bad things about me.
Like, revealing, you know?
Okay. I would... In that case, I would think I would definitely choose them not write anything about me at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that would make me think, like, oh, they never actually love me. I don't know. But having them, like, say bad things about... That would be... I would not like that. I actually famously have very amicable breakups.
Wow.
Some people say too amicable. Who knows? Who knows? We don't have to get into that. But so if I broke up with someone and then they hated me afterwards, that would I've not had that experience thus far, and I would like to keep it that way. So
yeah.
that's my
Okay.
answer.
That's fair. See, I would rather have the 10 scathing songs about me, because the fact that they can move, if they write, especially if they're a musician like Taylor Swift, who historically writes a lot of scathing songs about lovers, and then I didn't get any at all, I'd be like, I meant nothing to you. Whereas if I get a ton of scathing songs, okay, fan behavior, I'm still on your mind, okay, you get your bag out of me, and I get the publicity out of you. That's writing true. About me, and you know what? We can all make the most of this.
Yeah. If it was if it's Taylor Swift and she doesn't write a song about you, you're literally trash, and no, she didn't even know you existed. Honestly, you probably weren't dating in the first place.
Now Taylor Swift is happy in love, so she's writing stories in her song. That's her last 2 albums have been really not about herself, because she's I've run out of things to say. I don't have anyone to talk shit about anymore.
That's right. She also handled probably every single angle of relationships and stuff by this point.
Also now she revisiting Red, and she added to the song, and it's okay, cool. Yeah. We're getting all the juicy details.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm thirsty for this drama about everyone else's breakups always. I always want to know this stuff.
Yeah. So
she gives it to us, and I like that. And it's
She also doesn't very smart. She doesn't just tell you. She lays it out, and you have to put the pieces together. And I do like that. Her whole, I don't know, music career is very interactive in that sense, which is cool. I appreciate Taylor Swift stans. They can be scary, but I appreciate them more than a lot of others, because they do put the pieces together, and they're
detectives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're scary though. They are for sure scary.
Yeah.
I've gotten death threats from them on the internet before.
Nice. Probably deserved.
Many a time. People always get mad. People always the only one I'm more scared of are the Nicki Minaj stans.
Interesting.
Oh, actually, no. Just the Justin Bieber stans freak me out.
Oh, really?
Because recently I tweeted something that was just a headline that was Hailey Bieber talking about how she isn't happy in her relationship with Justin Bieber. She was just talking about how she cried every day, and I screenshotted the headline. I was this doesn't sound good, babe. Yeah. And then they all started DMing me, and they're how dare you, this is so out of context, this is about his Lyme disease, Scooter Braun will be taking this down, we have informed him, and his people will
informed Scooter Braun.
Yes. I was oh my god,
that's crazy.
I was Scooter Braun is coming for me. I actually was scared into deleting my tweet. I deleted it right when I saw I woke up, I tweeted at night, I woke up in the morning to 20 message requests that were you better take this down, you whore,
my God.
Get a job, stop talking about Justin Bieber, he and Hailey are so fine,
oh my God.
And I was okay,
that's incredible.
Sorry.
The only stans I've had come after me are I don't know if they're called stans necessarily, but British people on one of my TikToks came they went to town on me and were like sending me DM because I was making fun of them or whatever, and I was like, did like an accent, and they're like would DM me on Instagram from TikTok. So they went to a different platform.
People are a notorious stan group.
They went. He was like, "Oh, we don't talk like that, bruv." And I was like, "You just did. You literally like sending voice. Who sends a voice memo to a stranger on Instagram? It was crazy." The only other one too, which was hilarious, was I posted a joke about Groundhog Day, which takes place in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and the Punxsutawney fans came for me. They're like, "How dare this? We do this for fun. We enjoy this. How dare you mock us?" I was like, "I'm literally making a joke on a TikTok, my dear." It was crazy.
Yeah, people don't understand jokes on the internet,
Yeah,
but
that's rough.
yeah.
All love to my Punxsutawney people though. Shout out.
Punxsutawney. Do I have any listeners in Punxsutawney? I hope I do. Yeah, no, Taylor Swift fans, they're a little bit scary, but I do respect them.
Yeah.
Like, that's some good work they're putting in when they're not using it for evil.
Yeah. Those are conspiracy theories that I can get behind as well.
Like, okay, people are always like, why are we talking about this? Like, Taylor Swift thing, like, it's not true. I'm like, but it's fun.
Yeah.
She leaves us so many hints, and it's like, there's so many dead ends, but it's like, even the dead end, it's fascinating. Like, everyone's theories about her and Carly Kloss being together at some point. I always found that fascinating, and a lot of people were like, oh, like she's just queer baiting. I don't even think she's queer baiting. I think it's just her stands are like crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what it is. I don't think that she's like, yeah, like I want you to think I'm queer. I don't think that is it at all. I think that people just draw insane conclusions for everything she does, and I love that.
Yeah.
I just love that there's a million different ways to interpret everything, and that's fun. So
if there's one thing Taylor Swift has taught us, it's that conspiracy theories can be fun.
mm-hmm.
And I've always said that.
I've always thought that conspiracy theories can be fun if used for good and not for evil.
Yeah.
But
like Flat Earth, like something like that. That's super easy and good and fun.
Well, Flat Earth is one of those things that really I'm learning a lot about because our friend Rishi watched this documentary and is now telling us.
Is it Behind the Curve?
I think that's the one that he watched.
It's a good one. It's on Netflix.
Okay,
it's good.
yeah, he just watched it and he was talking to me about it. And I didn't realize that it was like a identity group beyond just like thinking that the earth was flat.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
It's like a whole QAnon sort of thing.
Yeah. And it's such a like gateway into all, like Flat Earth is such a gateway into all conspiracies. And it is like such a, because they have to fight so hard to prove that, they like become this community within each other, and it's crazy.
Yeah. It's wild. I feel like if I was a little more uneducated and a little less like in a sort of like liberal echo chamber, I would maybe believe some of these things because I don't understand science. Yeah. No,
I've definitely I've said that before. I've been like, if you can't call yourself open-minded, if you haven't like heard about some conspiracy theories and been like, I knew, but yeah, okay, kind of like.
It's like, bro, I knew the Earth could be flat.
Right. In order to listen to a conspiracy theory and immediately be like, no, that's wrong, is also closed-minded, and therefore you're part of the problem. You gotta look at everything
from all the sides, With all the like QAnon Pizzagate pedophilia thing, I'm like, okay, so many people are pedophiles, but like, I don't think I buy 50% of it.
Yeah.
I don't buy the conclusion you're making from it.
Yeah.
But like, sure. In the
generally
concept,
speaking,
I do believe that there's like. I believe that there's like powerful people controlling the world. I do believe that.
Yeah.
There's a lot we don't know about. So.
It's true. So this is transformed from a finance podcast to a conspiracy theory podcast.
The FBI killed Martin Luther King. Speaking of conspiracy theorists, Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers revealed this week that he is unvaccinated and has been getting all of his COVID advice from the one and only Joe Rogan. I think Aaron Rodgers got COVID recently, and that's why he came out with this stuff. Aaron Rodgers is he married to Shailene Woodley, or they're just engaged?
I have no idea.
I don't know. He's in a romantic relationship with Shailene Woodley, who's always given me like sort of hippie anti-vax energy in that way. Yeah. But I don't know. Like she's like, I think she's like a Gwyneth Paltrow sort of category of
interesting.
Alternative medicine.
Okay.
Whereas like now Aaron Rodgers is subscribing to the Joe Rogan alternative medicine. Mm-hmm. I want to know if you would rather take medical advice from Joe Rogan or Gwyneth Paltrow. Like who's
this? Yeah. Okay. This is interesting. the rogue or the goop is really
Yeah.
that's the binary.
Gwyneth Paltrow is Joe Rogan for girls, so I really do believe that.
That's true. That is tough. Have you watched like the Goop show on Netflix?
I watched some episodes of it.
I feel like Gwyneth Paltrow is my answer, and my explanation is because I feel even if she was wrong, I would be more like if they both were wrong, I would be more okay being wrong listening to Gwyneth Paltrow than like if I listened to Joe Rogan and it was wrong, I'd be like, I already feel like such a bad person. And I'm like, plus it didn't work. Like that's terrible. So one, that. Two, I feel like she, at least from like her TV show and stuff, like there were actual like, I have seen her surrounded by professionals to a certain extent, and I've only seen Joe Rogan on Fear Factor and in his little bunker studio.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would trust her a little more to at least get advice from others than this white basement dweller.
Totally. I think I'd also follow Gwyneth Paltrow's medical advice, mostly because even if it doesn't work, it's like pretty.
Yeah. No,
and
that's
it's like kind of fun and glamorous. And like, you know, if I'm putting all these random things in my body, like at least they're sparkly.
Yeah. No, that's real.
I think I can maybe like trick myself into believing they work because it's like fun.
There could be some like placebo of just like, oh, it looks nice and it's.
I went to a Goop pop-up shop in Chicago, and that was a fun thing to walk through. Like the products that they sold. Yeah. It was just she is really innovative to the concepts here. Yeah. But like if I'm gonna stick something foreign in my body, like I'd rather it be a vaginal crystal egg than horse medicine, you know? No,
that's true. Yeah, I feel like if Joe Rogan had a Joe Rogan like pop-up shop would be horrifying. Be in an alley and they wouldn't put anything. It would just be an alley. And they would just like throw cans. And you'd have to pick them up off the ground. And there's like rocks in them. And like they'd bring rats to the alley. It'd be horrifying.
What else did he suggest doing besides ivermectin?
I have no. It was some. I know he took like multiple things, but I forget what. Like 2 Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. What did Joe Rogan generally suggest? He was like, I was listening to his podcast and what he's saying to me on the phone, but Joe Rogan's COVID advice. Okay. I don't know. I'm just saying, ivermectin
walk it off
and no vaccine. Has Gwyneth Paltrow come out with anything? Gwyneth Paltrow.
I feel like Joe Rogan would also be like walk it off, rub some dirt on it, like a baseball coach. Yeah. You know.
Wow, she had COVID also. Oh, she also had wacky things. Let's see.
Oh, what'd she do?
She did infrared saunas and skipping breakfast.
What?
She followed a keto diet.
Does she not do that already?
She did coffee enemas.
I love coffee, so I'll take it any way I can.
Whoa. Yeah, she didn't eat until 11 a.m. Okay, that's not... I don't wake up on
Crazy. Don't take the vaccine. Just don't eat until 11 a.m.
Truth or dare? Truth or dare?
All right, Zavior, truth or dare?
Ooh, let's do a little truth.
Okay, let's see. I haven't prepared for these, so let's... What do you believe is the most malicious thing that you have ever done?
Oh my God. I would like to reiterate before I answer this, I'm a good Southern boy. What's the most malicious thing that I've ever done? Oh my, that's tough. That's also tough because nothing is coming to mind immediately, but I'm also like, maybe I've just gaslit myself into being like, no, you did great. That was such a noble thing to do.
Maybe not necessarily malicious, but like something mean that you did that you maybe regret or like.
Okay, I do remember one. I remember one time I believe I was in the 8th grade, and the school I went to was 8th and or 6th through high school, so it was all in the same building. And so we were in 8th grade, but you had to like test in to get into high school, whatever. And there was this girl from my elementary school who I like, for some reason, I don't even remember why, didn't like her, I don't know, something. But then I found out, while I was waiting to be picked up, I found out that she had gotten in to that school for next year for high school. Mm-hmm. And so I turned to my friend who we both went to elementary school with her, and I was like, oh my God, she got in. She's going to be here next year. No. And I turn around, and she was a topic of conversation because she was touring the school that day. So I turn around, and she's like walking down the hall, and she like didn't pretend. She didn't give off as if she heard, but I screamed it in the courtyard, and she was right there. And I said her full first and last name. So there's no way she didn't hear. And then she just like walked by and was like, hey, and then like left. And I felt so bad.
So if you guys went to the same school, did you end up having any more of a relationship with her throughout high school?
I don't think so. No, it wasn't like antagonistic at all, but it was just like we ran in different circles, so okay. It wasn't as bad as I pictured it would be.
That's one of my biggest fears, being really caught talking shit.
It's truly horrifying, actually. Most of the time, if there's trash talking occurring, I lay pretty low, and there's only one. I try not to trash talk that much anyway, but if I'm going to say something even slightly malicious or mean about something, there's like few people who I will say that in front of that
this girl's one of them. Oh, and she's been thinking about it every single day since.
And yeah, it's tis a toughie. I think actually, okay, I do remember the reason there was tension was because, oh my God, this also now might be the most malicious thing I've ever done. I think we've stepped in it. I'll try to make it very quick, but basically we were playing this game in recess, and it was boys versus girls, and the girls were hiding the stick, and all the boys wanted to get the stick, and we were like all around the playground. All the girls had surrounded it, like circling, and it was like in the mulch or whatever. So I was like, you know what? We just have to go for it. They were all like in a circle around it, like arms linked. I ran in and like broke through the circle to pick up this stick from the ground that the girls were guarding. And everyone was literally like beating, like they were like pulling my hair and like hitting me. It was crazy. It was like 5th grade. And I pushed to get out. And this girl steps back, because I just pushed her, steps into this hole. She falls down and she breaks her ankle.
Oh.
And then they literally had to, I was like, oh my God. And obviously I ran away, and everyone was like, whatever. And then they literally had to like carry her into a car to like go to the hospital. And then she came back like a few days later in like a wheelchair. And I was like, oh my God. So I think.
So you hated her because you hurt
her?
No.
I did not hate her. I think she obviously hated me for that. I don't think it was a thing that I hated her, but I was like, there's obviously tension here. I'd prefer not to go to the same school as her.
Damn. Escaping the consequences.
Yeah.
That's the most toxically masculine thing you've ever done.
Yeah, that was rough. That was not my best moment. Or moments either.
Wow.
Okay. Truth or dare?
I'll start with a dare.
Oh God. I'm so bad at giving dares. I dare you to. Can you message someone and sound like you're in a multi-level marketing?
Okay, yeah. Who should I message? I should do this on Instagram if like that's more authentic.
Yeah. For some reason, the first person who's going to mind is Greer. I don't know why.
Greer is the beautiful singer and songwriter of the music on this podcast.
Oh yes.
Okay, I'll message her. What should I say?
It has to start with "Hey girly."
Hey girly, yeah. Hey girly. Oh my God, the last message I had with Greer on Instagram was when I put on my close friend story that someone that I slept with in college got engaged.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Because and he got married this year, but that was when he got engaged. Hey girly, I have an opportunity that has your name all over it. I've been working with Busy Bee Beauty for a couple months now.
And it's given me the financial freedom to travel and live out my dreams.
Travel and live out my dreams. As someone with an alternate career path, this stability has been crucial. I figured you would be a great addition to the team.
Yeah, the team, that's good.
So call me if you're ready to change your life.
And like a star emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star. Kiss. Sun. Tongue out.
Nice.
Okay.
Incredible. Yeah. Beautiful.
Let's see what she said. Okay, truth or dare?
I'll go dare. Oh God.
Okay. I dare you to. I almost wanted to make you do something to one of your friends who's married, but I was like, I shouldn't mess with a marriage. I feel like it's so
Flirt
serious.
with one of my married friends.
Be like,
Heard he's not really up to par.
Oh my gosh. I dare you
I'm terrified.
to apologize for breaking the leg of this girl.
Oh my God. Oh my God. No. Oh my God. Oh no. I mean, yeah, I'll do it. I'm trying to think about where would even make the most sense. Can I? Oh my God. Jesus. What was even her name? Is that bad? Oh my God, no, this is her.
I don't remember her name.
This is her. Oh no. Okay. At least I really, like, I hope I'm not, like, misremembering and I apologize to the wrong girl.
That would be funny.
That would be hilarious. Sorry if I broke your ankle. She's like, what did you do? Okay, I'm messaging her on Facebook. Is that weird? Should I use, I don't think I have her elsewhere. Hey, girly. How do I even, am I allowed to explain that this came up on, or am I allowed to explain how this came up, or just like, hey, this came up recently?
I think just this came up recently.
Okay. It also has to sound like me. Okay. Yeah. Does it have to be like sincere? Does it have to sound like fully sincere? Or can it be like, oh, I just remember this. That was crazy. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm starting with, okay. For some reason, I recently remembered. I don't know if I can get into it in the first sentence. I recently remembered I broke your ankle. For some reason I recently remembered. I was talking to someone about elementary school recently and remembered the little old I was gonna say the little old incident where I broke your ankle. I was talking to someone about elementary school recently and remembered when I accidentally there we go, divert a little bit of the blame. When I accidentally broke your ankle. And then I'm gonna use like the little the nervous laugh emoji. LOL. I don't recall if. How do I then apologize? I can just be
I'm sorry for that.
Sorry about that.
Wasn't my finest moment.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. LOL. Okay. I was talking to somebody about elementary school recently, and remember when I accidentally broke your ankle? Nervous laugh. Sorry about that. LOL.
Perfect.
Wasn't my best. No, I feel like that makes it worse. Sorry about that. LOL. Anyways, just thought you should know. No. Anyways.
I think sorry about that. It's fine.
Okay. Anyway, I just got digging even deeper. Anyways, it was kind of your fault. You were standing there in the way. You stood on the stick. Okay, you okay? I was talking to
your
someone about
friends pulled my
elementary
hair, so I had to return.
you don't understand. So I broke your ankle. Sorry, just sorry about that. LOL.
It's an apology.
Wow. Okay, I sent it. Oh my god, that's crazy. Dares actually horrify me, and I never was a prank call kid or anything like that. Like, yeah, no, I can't.
I love that.
That scares me so much. My ears are red right now, and that was a good thing. Like, I should have apologized for it. But I'm still nervous.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Thank you for pushing me past my comfort zone.
And even if she doesn't receive it well, you send an olive.
Yeah, I'm also scared that that'll come off as like. Do you think there's potential that comes off as like flirty? Like I'm.
No.
Okay. Just in my head, I'm like, if someone randomly comes up and I'm kind of like joking, like, hey, remember that? I feel like could be.
Like, why?
What I'm saying.
You haven't talked to this girl. You barely even remember her name. How they come up and like.
Can you? Okay. Truth or dare?
I'll do it, truth.
Okay. Truth. Okay. We haven't even discussed the fact that we literally are roommates.
Yeah, we are.
So my question is going to be about that. My question is going to be, what is your least favorite thing about living with me? Or like, what is like the thing, a pet peeve of mine that you've learned about me?
Okay.
Okay, don't be. Okay, no, you can take your time if you want. You don't have to be so quick.
Okay,
actually.
Here's one that's actually really random and funny. Is that whenever you unload or load or start the dishwasher, you don't change the thing from clean to dirty.
Yeah.
That's one of my pet peeves with you.
That's fair.
But it's okay because I can usually figure it out.
You're just using like disgusting bowls because I haven't shown me it's clean.
I don't know. I don't think otherwise. I have many pet peeves. I don't think so. What do you do that's annoying? I feel like you do that in your room,
Actually, am I annoying something in your room? That's fair.
Sometimes you eat buffalo chicken dip. That's crazy.
You just disrespect the food that I eat. That's actually my culture. So Trader Joe's buffalo chicken dip actually is my culture. And like peanut. Were you the one making fun of me for peanut butter and carrots?
No. Oh yeah, I was.
Oh. Okay. Yet again, shaming my culture, but it's okay.
Is
my
that
upbringing.
What culture is that?
The Phillips family.
Okay.
The Phillips crest.
Sorry to Mariah, Derek, Zoe, Sienna, and Isaiah
Thank you.
for this misstep. Yeah, those are my pet peeves. I'm sorry if that wasn't juicy enough.
No, I'm actually not disappointed you don't have more juicy pet peeves about me. Surprisingly, I'm okay that you can stand living with me.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I run into you when you're getting out of the bathroom. Because our doors are kind of closed.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not a you issue. That's an architectural issue.
That's true.
So.
Take it up with our freaking building manager.
He didn't design the apartment.
No, but I'll take it up with him.
Oh, what if he listens to this? What if Josh is an avid fan of Phillips?
Hi, Joshy.
My bestie, Joshy. That's my bestie and Tessie, because he does.
He does.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that we've come to the end of our time, but
wow.
Is there anything that you really want the listeners to know before we go?
I mean, I think I've well established that I'm a good Southern boy. And then I love my family. I'm a family man. Yeah, I think that's about it. That's about all my identity, I suppose. So.
Do you have anything you want to promote?
Let's see. I mean, look, follow me on Instagram, and that's where I will have stuff to promote. Currently, less the case, but in the future, oh baby, there's stuff cooking like you wouldn't believe, smelling like jambalaya. You know what I'm saying? So follow me and you'll smell the jambalaya cooking at Zavior.jpg, baby. I think that's it.
It's Zavior.jpg, baby.
It's Zavior.jpg, baby. You also can look. We did discontinue it, but I do think it was good and it was fun to make. My little podcast I did with two other friends of the pod. Two of my friends, it's called Just Friends, and we go through the 36 questions to fall in love, but we try to remain platonic, and we don't get married by the end. Spoiler. But yeah.
Did you go through all 36?
We did stop at 18. We did
right.
get to 18 though.
You were too afraid of falling in love.
Yeah, I kind of got the sexual tension was getting too big. So we had to discontinue. So now we're starting one up that's called Just in Love. But yeah, so Just Friends podcast. Check her out, baby.
All right. Well, you heard the man. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Pillow Fight is a production by me, Yamini Nambimadom, with music by Greer Baxter.